Hey, well, being able to come back live with a video, not long, but I wanted to come back and address some of the things that I hear in the news that doesn't really get, you know, explained in a way where you can understand it. There's a lot of jargon that they use to particularly program and make sure that your mindset is swayed to a different ideology. And so I want to come back and kind of give you a perspective on some of the differences between us. There you go. What's up, A Black Pistol? DG in the house, Minnesota. Um, I want to come back with a different perspective on the differences between us and the politicians. Now, like I said before, if you're a voter, you should know these things. And what I mean by that, if you've seen the title says civilians are arrested while politicians have inquiries. And the reason why I put that as the title, because the stuff that's going on right now, family, come on. Trump's impeachment process. Okay. What they're not telling you that it's just an inquiry, meaning asking questions. This is the second time that they've come to this type of realization where they want to get Trump out of office. And the reason why, and I'm not political, but it's important that you kind of know this stuff because then you can know what's real news and fake news. This is fake news. Okay, Trump's been saying it the whole time. Reason why it's fake news is because of the impeachment process is a joke. If we are suspected of a crime as a civilian, the cops come and arrest us, and then we have to prove our innocence. And some people may say, "Well, no, that's not true. You are innocent until proven guilty." But if you're suspected of a crime, someone accused you of a crime, they come to get you, and you're going to jail, and you're not getting out of jail until you post bond. So you aren't innocent until proven guilty because if you don't have the money to post that bond, if you financially strapped, and remember, when you got like 70% of Americans can't afford a $600, $700 emergency, come on, man, if you get wrongly accused and you go to jail, you're going to be sitting in jail till court. So to me, that lets you know right there that that's the discrepancy in the law that doesn't protect us like it should. And that whole notion of innocent until proven guilty is a priced out ideology. If you ain't got the money, then you guilty until proven innocent. Okay, and this isn't a race issue. This is a money issue. This is an economic class issue. I mean, if you just look what's happening right now with the homeless. What police officer gives a homeless person a ticket? Huh? And so that tells you right there that this whole matrix is thrown, and we don't do anything about it. Ain't nobody saying anything about it. Civilians get arrested. Politicians have inquiries. Right now, they have an inquiry about President Trump or whether or not he should be impeached. Well, if you don't know what the impeachment process is, then you're going to think that Trump really did some things or that there's a chance he may be impeached or he's going to be impeached. Nope. Because the system is designed, right, to keep presidents in office that needs to be in office. What I mean by that? That's why you have a House of Representatives and a Senate. If you know any type of history about past impeachments, the ones I'm more familiar with in my lifetime have been President Nixon and President Clinton. A lot of people don't even know that President Clinton was impeached. Right? But see, there's a two-pronged process, and that's the thing that confuses people. President Nixon resigned before he was impeached. Remember, they had the votes, and this is the crazy thing about it: the difference between civilians and politicians. If you get convicted of a crime, you ain't gonna have nobody voting on whether or not you gonna get off of that crime or not. You're gonna have 12 people, and you have a judge, and you're gonna be convicted or you're gonna not be convicted. But it's not gonna be a vote. It's not gonna be whether or not these people are in your corner. If you're a Democrat, and back in the 90s when Clinton went through what he went through and got impeached, well, the House of Representatives impeached Clinton. Okay, but the Senate didn't. They call acquitted Clinton. That's why he never had to leave the office. That's why a lot of people don't even know that President Clinton was impeached But guess what? He was impeached by the House of Representatives, but then he was acquitted by the Senate. And well, yeah, damn, how did that happen? Because votes. It's 50 senators. I mean, it's 100 senators, something like that. You got like 400 and something congressmen, right? And so it all depends on the office, whether or not you're a Republican or a Democrat. Right now, Trump is a Republican, right? Do you honestly think Trump's going to be impeached? You did? Even if you do something wrong, it still comes down to votes. It still comes down to whether or not the House of Representatives and the Senate Republicans going to impeach him. It's a joke. And the only reason I'm coming up with this information, family, I just want you to know how much of a joke it is. How when you see him on the television and you see Nancy Pelosi, you see Chuck Schumer and Adam Schiff, all these high-ranking congressmen that you've never seen on the television lying to people, talking about what the American people, what the American public want to know. Let me ask you something, family. And what to do, Marcus? When was the last time you guys woke up and said, you know what? I wonder what the president I wonder what President Trump and President from Ukraine talked about. Or are you more concerned about whether or not your health care is going to be paid, whether or not the inflationary rate is going to affect your money, whether or not these interest rates. See, there's a lot more tangible things that are going to affect your everyday status than to worry about what's going on the political end. But they know that. See, they give us bread and circus, entertainment, NFL, professional sports, entertainment, right? That's what they give us. Social media, Facebook, all the Kardashian, all that crap. That's what they give, the common man, common people. That's the entertainment. The entertainment for the rich people is politics. See, those are actors, and they think that's real, but they understand that it's either Democrat or Republican. The way they keep us divided as a country, family, is the longest running practice to man. It's called divide and conquer. You think it's an accident that everything in our existence in America stems on you picking a team or making a choice? Think about politics. Why is it just one party for everybody? Why it have to be the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, conservative, liberal, left, right? Come on, man. What about right and wrong? Because that's all it really matters. That's what it boils down to, justice. But that's how they keep you divided. Even in sports, look at the sports. They keep fans divided. You got the National Football League. You got the AFL. You got the National Football League. You got the American Football League. In basketball, you got the East versus the West. In entertainment, you got West Coast rappers, East Coast rappers. I mean, they've been doing this forever. Because, see, that type of divide and conquer method keeps the masses confused. It's called organized chaos. And then it keeps you off the real news. Okay, like for instance, Amber Geiger, the cop that was convicted of killing that Afro-melanated man. Come on. And guess what? A lot of people were running to that story. A lot of people was concerned with that story. But I'm telling you, until you start telling me about those being convicted of killing and shooting innocent people in Chicago, then you telling me about Amber Geiger going into the wrong department, shooting someone, and telling and saying that she thought it was her apartment. That alone should have told you that it was psyop, that it was ridiculous. See, this type of stuff also marks. See, if you're in my age group, you understand that Amber Geiger story. And of course, she was convicted. She didn't have a party that going to vote whether or not she was going to jail or not. But guess what? What would be her sentence? Because she was convicted of murder. All right, and being convicted of murder, then that's going to come with some time. But let's look at this story real quick. She went into someone else's apartment she thought was hers, and she shot the man. Okay. Now you got information coming out saying that she knew him. But see, my point is, I don't like to waste time on this kind of nonsense because no one's leaving the door unlocked. So she had a key. It's speculation, but like I said, all this for entertainment purposes only. Use your common sense. A lot of times they don't want us to use our common sense, and the common sense that the Most High bless you with have been suppressed for so long. Your pineal gland has been calcified by the diet. I mean, think about it. People still drink milk. So that tells you right there, if you're still drinking milk and you still going to McDonald's eating fast foods from these restaurants where you know there's no way there's that many cows and chickens in America. Okay, so you know what you're eating and what you drink is not real. Then they got you. They don't have to explain the impeachment process and tell you that yes, even though Trump may be found guilty in the House of Representatives, well, in the Senate they may not find him guilty, so he may not have to leave office. So it's a joke. It's a joke, just like the electoral college is a joke. How many of you guys know how the electoral college works? That's a joke. And then, of course, when you talk about civilians being arrested and politicians having inquiries, we go to court for our misdeeds and for our crimes. Politicians, they go in front of congressional committees. The same congressional committees where these same people, Democrats and Republicans, are having a national annual breakfast every year called what's called a national breakfast party that they have every year, Democrats and Republicans. So how they friends? Okay, we the one left carrying the bag, family. No one's gonna bail you out when you commit a crime, but politicians get bailed out. No one's gonna bail you out when you have financial problems, but the banks get bailed out. You did? Nobody's gonna bail you out when you don't work 30, 40 years for a company, and then they tell you your pension's not there. But CEOs and big corporations get bailed out. See how this is working? So, and you better make sure that you pay yourself first and put yourself in the mindset of being conscious, because all of this madness that's going on is kind of discouraging, because it's just hidden in plain sight. It's like they have no regard for the intelligence of the masses, because I guess they know as long as on Saturdays and Sundays you have majority of men watching sports all the time, and as long as you have social media where people have an opportunity to quote unquote go viral, okay, and as long as you teaching people and teaching our kids in school to be employees and not entrepreneurs, this is going to be something that's going to take place year after year, decade after decade. And they got the game sold up. Right? I mean, it's pretty bad. I just want to come back with a little information. What's up, Ken? I just want to come back with a little information tonight, family. It's just amazing. And last thing before I leave, I have a young audience as well as those that are in the wisdom department. If you are want to further your education, then I would definitely reconsider for-profit universities. Okay. Now, what's a for-profit university? Those are mostly the online universities, the Kaplan University, the Phoenix University, Trump University, all these universities that you see advertised on the television. Okay. They're telling you that you can go online, that you can get your degree in 2 years, or get your degree in 3 years, or whatever, and have a BA or have a degree. But ask yourself, it's a for-profit university, meaning they're in the business of making money. So they will accept anybody. So then you got to ask yourself, then what is the skill set of the professors at these colleges? Or not colleges, but these online universities, or these for-profit universities? Because there's a difference between a for-profit university and a non-profit university. All right? Sparks, what it do? Okay? So, if you want to further your education, family, and like I say, non-profit organizations are scams. So you got to know a for-profit organization, especially if they're talking about their university and furthering education, but they're for-profit, meaning they in it to make money. They have investors, a lot of them on the stock market. So you have to know they in the business of making money, not providing you with the best education. Now I've done my research on some of them. I mean, check your status of the degree that you receive from these for-profit universities, because a lot of them not accredited. Okay, I mean, and also too with these student loans, I think the banks and the for-profit universities are working together, because banks are giving loans for individuals to attend these universities, to attend these for-profit university online schools. And if you look at the amount of debt got like $1.6 trillion worth of student loan debt, and only 12% of the student loan debt comes from the for-profit universities. But of that 12%, 50% of those people are in debt, defaulted on the loans. So, I mean, if you defaulted on your loans and you graduated from an accredited university, imagine how detrimental it would be for you to default on a loan or get a loan for a for-profit university, and then you find out that your degree is bogus. Okay. Wow. Lord, okay, I see you, buddy. Yeah. And that's not the first time this happened, nephew. All right. So, like I said, family, you was in the guard. I really appreciate you. Like I said, just to recap, civilians get arrested, politicians get inquiries. This whole notion of Trump being impeached is a joke. You did, because he have to get the votes to be voted out. It ain't like civilian where if we just suspected of a crime, we go to jail and you're guilty to proven innocent. Politicians, they have their friends vote on whether or not they go to jail. And not even go to jail, but just removed from office. Okay? So, yeah, ITT Tech, all those schools, man. Byron, I mean, it's a joke. And these for-profit organizations, they don't guarantee you jobs afterwards. And so basically, they're predatory. They're taking advantage of people who's trying to better their lives. And I say mostly, you know, mothers who are stay-at-home moms who working, or those who working and trying to, don't have the time to actually go to brick and mortar schools. The online school system is, pretty, it's entertaining, and so it can be misleading, to say the least. But a lot of people lost a lot of money dealing with these things, and so I would just be careful, family. Do your research, okay? And like I say, if it's a for-profit university and they only can offer you online classes, I would be skeptical. All right, nonprofit, nonprofit universities are taking advantage of kids. Look at the student loan debt. Look at the rising price. If it's a nonprofit school, like all the state schools, like most of the universities are nonprofit, got tax exemptions and all of that. Every year they still raising the prices of tuition. They still raising the price of tuition, books, all of that. And they nonprofit. They receive help from the government, receive money from the government, right? So what do you think the for-profit universities got to do? They out to just make money, family. All right. So be careful. Okay. Do your due diligence. All right. And before I leave the body, I just got to touch on Mayor Turner. Family. I'm in H-Town, and if you didn't get a chance to watch my video about a Houston mayor paying his intern $95,000, go check that video out, family. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to videos, and tell your friends and family. And like I said, this is very funny, family. Being in Houston and having and Mayor Turner, he's been around a long time. He's ran for mayor a couple of times in the past. Like I said, me graduating from Rice, I've been in Houston since like '87, and so I know about Sylvester Turner. And to hear that his intern was paid $95,000, it didn't surprise me, especially when I seen the intern. It didn't surprise me, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, family. In the meantime, between time, many most high side, bring the joy. And Byron, AA Black Pistol, DG, Marcus, Sparky, Sparks Gummy, Luis, sorry, brother, King King. Thanks for joining me in the Garden family and being with us out of 5,000.